Good evening, all. Am I audible? Can you see my screen? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, all. Yes, good evening and welcome to day 2 of our AWS Masterclass. So how many of you guys have created the account? In the previous session I have explained you about some concepts about regions, availability zone, data center, etc. So before starting in today's session, I just want to know, guys, how many of you guys tried to create an account? How many of you guys have AWS account? Can I get some response from your side? Good evening all, good evening. And also post down, guys, some I'll be asking a few questions, just post some answers. So talking about that, can you guys tell me what is a data center? What is a data center? Good, I can see some of you guys have created the account. Very good. Yeah, if you have done it or if you haven't, the only way you can learn AWS is by practicing. Okay, so you need to be careful with that. You need to practice every day or go hands-on. At the same time, you have to be clever also, because if you done something accidentally, then you may have to pay for it. They will be charging your account. Anyway, they won't be debiting the amount without your knowledge. Or one thing, guys, if you accidentally done something and you got some bills, I'll explain. This session is about that, because before starting into anything, I'll just tell you guys how to escape if you got some issues. Like I'll tell you during the session. So if we have some issues like that, we can request the AWS to consider this, because you are learning and this happened accidentally, so they'll discharge the charges, so you don't have to pay for it. If you've done something accidentally, there are some ways for it. I'll be discussing that in this session particularly, and also about IAM. Yeah, it's where the data is stored. Yeah, data center is a place where data is stored, and it will have servers. Okay, servers where everything is happening, which contains power supply, security, internet supply, managing team, staffs, etc. And what is a cluster of data center is called as in AWS? A cluster of data center is called as, post down answer, guys. And yeah, it is called as availability zone, right? And the cluster of availability zone is called as, good, availability zone. And a cluster of availability zone is called as region. Okay, and every day in the session at the start, I'll try to ask some questions from the previous day so that we can brush up that too. So continuing with that, I have explained you about creation of account, and we were here in our home page. This is our home console. So let us continue with that. Before starting or practicing any service, once again I told you that this AWS has free options. At the same time, if you accidentally done something, you may have to pay for it. So what is the restrictions I can do to save me from that? So that is one of the things which we are going to start with, and we'll start our day 2 with AWS budgets, and then bill and how to manage those things. Okay, what is the support process, etc. And after that, we'll see about AWS IAM. From next session, we'll be going little bit in-depth services. These are some of the basic services you need to know for your safety purposes. So we'll start with AWS budgets. Okay, so budgets. What is a budget, guys? Talking about budgets, like every month you'll be allocating some budget, so that you will be having some money, so that you are planning to spend within that. Okay, that's what a budget is, right? So this AWS is providing a service which is called as budgets, and this service is free. Okay, anyone can use it. So for using the budgets and all, they are not going to charge you anything. Okay, there are some free services, there are some paid services too. And talking about AWS budgets, it improve planning and cost control with flexible budgeting and forecasting at the same time. Okay, for example, I am planning, okay, and one thing guys, AWS will be calculating everything in the format of dollars. Okay, it's not in rupees, it will be in dollars. For example, I hope you know the conversion, just a basic conversion. Nowadays, like $1 is equal to 80 rupees, something around 82 or 83, I think so, right? Think that I am planning as a person, I am planning that this month, okay, this month for October, my AWS budget is around $10. Okay, I am planning to spend a maximum of $10 so that I can create a budget in AWS. So what will happen is, you can set some alert. For example, I can set if 50% has been crossed, like if I have spent $5, then automatically what AWS does is it will send me a mail, okay, that it's an alert mail. You can receive alerts that you have crossed this amount, so that please be careful with that. You are about to exceed your budget, so you can set the percentage. Okay, it's not going to cut off anything, they'll just give you an alert. So if you want, you need to stop or respond with action. For example, sometime accidentally you may, guys, what all things you start in AWS, okay, please watch how to end it. Okay, because I'll be telling you, when we start a service, at the end I'll tell you how to end or terminate that service, because if you keep it running, it may give you charges. Okay, because based on the demand, that's what cloud computing is, right? So you will be paid for what you use, and there are some free services also. So we'll go with free, and if you are going any paid service, I'll tell you it's a paid, so I'll give you some restrictions. So starting about budgets, we'll go into the budgets. So to do that, you can go into the search bar in AWS and search for budgets. See here, it is giving me AWS budgets. Okay, set custom budgets and receive alerts. So I'll go inside of it. Okay, so here I have already created one budget. See here, it is telling me, okay, as a beginner you won't be having this, right? I'll just remove this for now. I'll just delete it and tell you guys from the start. Okay, so when you go inside of, from the AWS, when you go inside of budgets, search for budgets, once again you will be taken into this page. Okay, so you can set custom budgets that alert when you exceed your budget threshold values. Okay, so it is calculated in US dollar, and you are not going to pay anything for using this AWS budget. So it is mandatory to use AWS budget. From my side, I'll tell you, please make it mandatory, because that will help you. Because as a beginner, if you accidentally done something, this will give you an alert so that you can escape from it as soon as possible. Okay, so you can click this create a budget. Okay, click this create a budget, and it will go into the next option. In cloud computing in AWS, you need to choose a lot of options. Okay, and then finally configure it. We are configuring it now. So you can start with the template, which is a simplified version, or you can go and customize an advanced version. As a beginner, I'll tell you to go with use a template, which is a simplified version. Okay, scroll below, you have templates, okay, which is zero spend budget, monthly cost budget, daily savings plan coverage budget, and daily reservation utilization budget. So as a beginner, you can focus on the top two, which is zero spend budget or monthly cost budget. So what is zero spend budget means? Okay, what is the name itself giving? Zero spend means you are not going to spend anything. Your plan is to spend nothing in AWS. So if you click this, okay, and if you get, like here, you will be entering your email ID and all. I'll tell you that what this zero spend budget does is, if you configure it, when accidentally or when you actually created something which costed you, like even if it costs $0.01, if it added to your bill, then what happens is automatically you will be getting a alert mail. Okay, that is what zero spend budget. I have given you an example previously about $10 my monthly plan. That is different. Okay, I can set some monthly plan. After it exceeds some percentage, I'll be getting alert. But here, seeing about zero spend budget, even if you spend $0.01, it will give you alert. So first let us create a zero spend budget. So you can give a name, my zero spend budget. You can alter a name. Okay, my zero spend budget for October. I can give something like that. Okay, and in email recipient I have to type the mail ID. Okay, so I'll type some valid mail ID, support@pantechelearning.com. Fine. So you can enter a maximum 10 mail IDs, and once you enter it, scroll below and then you can click create budget, and see here guys, you will be notified via email when you spend anything above $0.01, even though. Okay, create budget. See here guys, now inside my budget, this is where my budget has been displayed. It is telling me it's okay, because I haven't exceeded that value. Okay, so click inside of it, and now you can see it is exceeded because already I have spent at $0.2. So when it configured, it is telling okay, but if you exceeded that amount, okay, it will tell you it has exceeded. Okay, so you would have received a mail ID. I can't show you now. I'll try to show you. I'll do it from my parallel screen if I am able to open it. Yeah. Can you guys see this? Right now, 0 minutes ago, I have received a mail that it exceeded your current bill. Okay, you will be receiving a mail like this. Okay. If you are a new one, then you would like already I had some bill, so it is telling me that it has been exceeded, and this is monthly. Every month you will be getting it. So if you want to actually remove or delete your budget, you can click this select option. Okay, and go into the actions. See here, inside the actions, you can either edit it or delete it. Okay, I'll delete. Akila, you can go into the support. Please watch the class till end. I'll be telling you about how to ask the support team to, if you have done something by mistake, how to revive it. Okay, you can go and ask them. I'll tell you in this session, please wait. And this is how you will delete a budget. Now once again, I'll create a new budget. Instead of zero spend, you can also go with monthly cost budget, because going with zero spend budget, it's difficult guys. When you actually try something, you may get some issues with that. Okay, and you can go with monthly cost budget. Every month you can spend some little amount for AWS if you are practicing with lot of services. Sometimes you may get some budget. Okay, you can go with monthly cost, and you can go with my monthly cost budget for October, or any name you want you can give, and it is giving you that $100. Okay, $100 is big amount, so plan something less. If you are a beginner, plan something like $5 or $10. I'll start with $10. $10 is the amount. Okay, if it exceeds, it will give me alert, and I'll go and enter my mail ID, support@pantechelearning.com. okay, and yeah, you can go and create the budget now. And now see here, this is $10, and currently, okay, I am at $0.02. Okay, this is the original amount I have. This is the forecasted amount, which means automatically it will forecast, and based on forecasting also you will receive mail. Okay, when it cross 50%, which means after crossing $5 when my budget, it will give me alert. After crossing $90, it will give me alert. Mail alert will be given. Okay. So this is how you can set, and this is where you will get. Right now I have spent only 0.19%. The forecasted usage is around 5%. Okay, so I hope it's clear. So now just keep it, don't delete it. So whenever, as a beginner, once you create an account, every day what I'll suggest is, whenever you are logging in, just go into the budgets and go inside of it and check, okay, whether the threshold is okay, whether the budget amount is okay. Even though if you accidentally done something, as soon as possible you are seeing it, the less amount you can pay. Okay, so you can go and check it every day. This is a good practice. Is it clear about budgets? Can I get some response, guys? Are we clear about AWS budgets? If it's clear, I can go into the next topic. I want some confirmation. Is it clear about what is AWS budgets? Right? So what you will do when you have created an account, first thing, create a budget, and every time as a beginner, not only as a beginner, even now I used to do is every time, because money is money, right? We don't want to lose it accidentally. Okay, so every time you use it every day, I just go into the budgets and check whether it's okay or not. One day accidentally I have done something and it has given me some amount. Okay, so what I have done is, in such cases you can go into the support option. Okay, see here, when you type support, it will help you to contact AWS technical and account support. First thing, if you got some unnecessary bill, what you have to do is you have to find from where it is coming and then you have to stop it. Or if you can't, you can go and ask. Okay, account and billing. In free tier, you can create a case. You can create a case on what it is. You can choose the service, for example, in billing. So what category is, whether you want a charge inquiry, okay, or whatever the issue, dispute a charge. Dispute means leaving the charge. Okay, and you can go for additional information. You can type a subject and a summary about what happened. So I am not going to proceed with it now, because when you go into the next step, it will ask you whether solve now or contact us. If you go with contact us, from the AWS, some person, their customer care will be directly interacting with you in the chat, and they will be telling you what service has costed you, what you need to do currently. And in that chat, you have to request that you are a student or you are starting and you are doing it for educational purpose and you have accidentally done something. Okay, so if you explain that to them, they'll dispute the charge and you don't want to pay for it. So that's what will happen in support. And budget's not going to stop anything, they'll just give you alert. So you need to be careful in that. You have to check and you have to stop it. Okay, and talking about bills, you can search for bills, billing. Okay, budget deleting is nothing. See here, Wiki, just select this, in the actions delete it. Okay, I'm not going to delete this, I need this budget. Okay, you can click the actions and delete it, select and then go into the actions and delete it. Fine. So you can also do this service, which is bill. Okay, search for bills, billing. Okay, so it is telling me what is my usage, what's the forecast, what's the current usage is $0.02. Okay, and it will give you some nice charts about what you have used previously. In July and all, I have used it for machine learning. So some of the machine learning services has costed me some amount. I am getting that from the previous month. You can get the record. You can see at the July I spent a lot, and recently right now I am spending very less. So I can get the graph from here. So what happens is bills. If you go into the bills, left side, see here, you have a lot of options like this in AWS. Usually you can go into the bills and it will give you what is the current bill. Okay, so if you go into the previous one, like September, this is what my bill is, $0.033. Okay, I have already paid for it. It is already paid. So what happens is every month, okay, I think like the first or second day, they'll charge you the bill, the final bill. Okay, they'll tell you the bill has been issued. Okay, so they'll issue the bill only once you got the bill. Every month what you have to do is you have to go into the payment. Okay, and if you have the payment due, it will be here. For example, at November, the October bill will be available here. Then I need to proceed with normal payment using my debit card. Once again, I need to do that process. They won't be taking without your knowledge. Okay, and yeah, so this credit is something like if you ask the support that you have accidentally done something, they will provide some amount in the credit. Okay, so that they will be like tallied and you are not supposed to pay any amount. And if you just see below, you have something known as free tier. We belong to free tier. For every tier we have some free options. If you click that, see here, So they are providing some free tiers. For example, see here, this Amazon S3 is actually an important service. Okay, they are providing 5 GB per month for free for totally 12 months. Okay, as a part of this AWS free tier usage. And current usage is 2 GB, forecasted is 5 GB. So you can find how many I have left in my free tier. Okay, for all the services you have some free tier. So you need to use that free tier so that you are not supposed to pay anything. See here, these and all, I have totally like this much requests available. I have done only 41. So I am not going to pay anything for that. After this, when I cross this, okay, then only I have to pay for it. So this is what you will be getting in the free tier. And talking about the next one, I hope it will be clear. Please go and use budgets wisely. And going into the next one, AWS pricing calculator. This is not for you guys. As a beginner, you are like, this is not that much useful for you. But as a company or as an entrepreneur who want to start a company with the help of AWS services, what they'll used to do is they need quotation, right? So they'll search for AWS pricing calculator. It's not from AWS account, so anyone can use it. Okay, without any account, you can just go inside of it and create an estimate. So you need to search the location where it is. For example, I'll choose for Mumbai. So this will give you a quotation of how much, if you use these services, what will be your monthly bill. It will give you. Okay, and you can go and find service. For example, if I choose for EC2, I can configure it. Okay, I want, as in tomorrow's session we will be seeing about EC2. That's where we will be creating our Linux, Windows and all in cloud. Okay, so I'll create a description, EC2 for my e-commerce. So in which location, in region. Okay, so what I'm going to use, I need to use Windows Server. Okay, and what's the these details and all, when we go inside, then only we can learn. And this is what the capacity. Okay, you have different versions and their payment. For example, if I plan to choose this T3.nano, which provides some configurations like 2 CPU, okay, 0.5 gigabyte of memory. So what will be my cost totally? See here, my monthly cost will be $5. You can save and view the summary. What will be your total cost and all. You can get some plans like this. Your estimate can be done. You can export it into CSV, PDF or JSON by clicking it. This is what pricing calculator is. Are we clear with pricing calculator? Mostly you may not require it. As a company, those who use monthly completely on that, they will be using pricing calculator to get just an estimate. Okay, and yeah, so if you want, you can convert this masterclass into a certified internship on AWS. You can join into this 1 month internship on Amazon Web Services and get certified, and you can join as internship user and do this internship. And if you avail this internship, all the 21 session videos will be available in our LMS portal for you. You can watch it anytime in this 90 days. Okay, from the day you join, and you will be getting the source codes, downloadable files of the project which we are going to see. Okay, all the PPTs and support files will be given, and especially 6 mentor live Zoom sessions. So in that Zoom session, you can join as an internship user. You can join and directly interact with me and clarify your doubt with the tutor, and you can get personalized support in the Zoom sessions. We will be conducting 6 Zoom sessions totally. So as soon as you join, you may not lose those Zoom sessions. Those are important, because when you try AWS, you may get stuck at some part. You can get this internship support from us from the 6 mentor Zoom session. And when you join, we'll be giving you internship confirmation letter, and only when you complete the internship, we'll be getting internship certification on AWS from pantechelearning. So to avail this, you can use this coupon code from our side, AWS MC2, and get it in a discounted fee of $899. The link is provided in the chat box. If you are interested, if you want to get the support from us, if you want to join as an internship user and get certified, you can So from the original fee we are giving a discount, and this will be available for a limited period of time. So if you are planning, do it ASAP. Okay, so the link is provided in the chat box. Utilize and get it. Note down the AWS MC2 and get it in a discounted fee of $899. And yeah, if we are ready, we can start with identity and access management. I need a response from everyone. Are we guys ready to start this IAM? IAM, the abbreviation is called as Identity and Access Management. This is one of the security service. Okay, yeah, can we start, guys? Fine, I hope it will be clear about budgets, bills, free tier and pricing calculator. Okay, and whenever we see some services, I'll tell you how to find how much free tier I have and all. Don't play anything on your own, otherwise it will be difficult, since you will be getting budgets. You need to be careful with that. Fine, we'll start with IAM. IAM is a service which is for, as the name itself suggesting, identity access management and all. It's one of the security thing, and with the help of IAM you can authorize who, okay, and authorize what they can use. Okay, who can access it, what can access it, okay, what they can access. I used to tell this or teach this with some simple example. Before going into that, I'll tell you guys, I'll tell you a scenario. See here, I'm planning to create a company, okay, and my company is e-commerce running company, as we seen in yesterday's session, and I am planning to avail AWS for all my services, all my usage. I am planning to use AWS services. Okay, and my web application is running on that, my e-commerce site is running there, my database is stored in AWS, and all of this is managed from my account, this account. Okay, this is my main account, pantechelearning. This is actually root account. Root account means main account. And what happens is, initially I am doing it, so no issues with that, and my company goes big, and what I am planning to do is, I am planning to recruit some of the developers, I am planning to recruit some of the testers. Okay, I'm planning to recruit some marketing team, I'm planning to recruit some support team and all. And now what I have done is, I have given my main account access to them. And what happens is, some junior, he accidentally deleted the entire database. So in such case, what will happen, guys? Tell me, guys, if someone as a junior came and accidentally he have deleted the entire database, or he have stopped my entire web application code, what will happen? My company goes down, right? So to avoid such things, what we can do is, we can use IAM, and we can create some sub accounts inside my AWS. Okay, it is called as IAM account. You can create some account. For example, if you have 10 employees, you can create 10 AWS accounts, and if they are a tester or if they are a support team, you can allow only permissions. Okay, from your root account or main account, you can decide which account or which of your user can use which services. Okay, I can allow them to use this alone, and I can restrict them from using other services. Okay, so that I can safeguard these details, right? It is a good thing, right? So now what we are going to do is, we are going to create some user, and I'll show you how to log in from that user, and I'll practically use, and it will give me restriction. Okay, we'll do that hands on. Can we do it? And when we go into IAM, we have some important things which we are going to see, which is called as user groups, users, roles and policies. Okay, what is a user means, I have told you, my employees, right? User. So user account you can configure from users. We'll see some introduction and go hands on and do everything, guys. Please wait till the end. So users are individual AWS accounts, okay, that represent people or services that needs access to your AWS resources, and each user has their own set of credentials, security credentials like password, username and all. I can create from my main account. Okay, and what is user groups is, and before going into that, we'll see what is a policy. In IAM, we have something known as policies, and policies are documents that define what actions are allowed or denied for users and groups. Okay, for example, previously I have shown you or talked about EC2, right? EC2 is a service. If I want to allow someone to use EC2 service, then I have in IAM a policy which will be like, it is predefined. It will have that allow IA or allow EC2 to be used like that. So if you attach that policy, what will happen? If I attach this policy document to this user, he can access that. Okay, so how we are giving permission to use them? By attaching something known as policies. Policies are documents are written in AWS that if you add it, it's like permissions. You are giving permissions and you have a lot of policies. I'll show you guys. And talking about user groups means you can group them in IAM. Like for example, you can create developers or something like that. You can create tester group. You can create another group like a marketing group or support group. Okay, so you can assign permissions to a group and all users within that group inherit those permissions, which means I can create one group. For example, for marketing team, I can create a group and add all the marketing people, and instead of one by one I am giving permission, I can directly give permission to this group, and everyone in that group will get all those policy permissions. Clear? Only authorized person can access. Root account can access IAM. Others can do, but if you allow the permissions, they can use IAM also. If you don't allow from your root account, then your sub IAM accounts can't use it. Okay. I hope now it's clear about what is users, what is user groups, and what is policies. We'll see about roles because that's little bit advanced. I'll tell you later. Okay. Now our plan is to go and do this hands-on. So let me just go into AWS and search for this service IAM. I manage and access your AWS resources. Go inside of it. Okay. See here. This is my AWS IAM, and if you just see on the left side, see here I have user groups, users, roles, policies, and all. First, let us go into the users and create a user. This is one of the dummy user I have. Usually you won't be having it. So what you can do is you can click this create user. Okay, create user and give a name for that user. What name can I give, guys? I need to note it down so that I'll be easily forgetting those things. Let me just note down as I'll give some name, for example, like developer _1. Okay, and initially you won't be getting any options. If you click this provide user access to the console, if you click it, see here, when you click it, you will be getting another option. Okay, what is the user type? Whether specify a user in identity center, or you can create an IAM user. IAM user means sub account. Root user mean main account. I'll go into I want to create an IAM user, and when you go inside of it, okay, it will ask you whether an auto generated password you need or you can create a custom password. I'll go and customly create a password for my employee 1. Okay, and remember that, and also you can avail this option. Okay, if it is selected, it will, what it will do is user must create a new password at their next sign in. So when my employee tries to sign in, what it does is, if you select this, it will ask him to give a new password, set a new password. At some part of places we may have like got it right. If you get that automatically, when you go or log in inside of it, it will ask you to give a new password. You can set it. So I'll just undo this for now. It's not recommended. It's for now, it's not recommended for me. If you want, you can click it so that when you try to log in freshly, it will ask you to set a new password. So my employee can set a new password. So once I done that, okay, I can go into the next and see here, this is what setting permissions is. You can add them to a group. We don't have a group right now. You can copy permission or you can attach policies directly. I'm not going to attach any policies for now. You can click it and see here, this is what the policy is. Okay, you can search for like EC2. Okay, see here, in EC2 and all we have a lot of access like full access, power user, read only access and all. We'll do it later. Right now I am not going to add any policy to him, which means he don't have any permission. Okay, so what I can do is I can scroll below and click next, and developer1 is the name, and this is a summary. You can create a user. Okay, and it will give me the login URL, the name and the password. I can view it. I'm not going to show you guys now. I'll copy this and I'll create a new tab and I'll log in to you guys and show you guys. See here. So now I have given this to my employee, my developer one. Okay, he is trying to log in now. See here. And it is asking me for my IAM username. It is developer one. Okay, and the password. So I need to enter the password. And I can click sign in. And see here, this is what an IAM account is. See here, it is giving me a new name. It's not my original name. Okay, and you will be in different place. You can select your region. And now, as you guys know, this developer has nothing. Okay, no permission at all. So let me try to do something in the S3. Okay, S3 is a storage service. Let me go inside of it and try to do something. Okay, it's actually we'll be creating folders in the name of bucket. So I'll create a bucket, my pantech _1, and for now don't worry about this. I'll just create a bucket, but you can see, okay, invalid characters. See here, permission is denied, access denied. I can't do anything. I can't go and just actually use it or create anything like this. Okay, what all I things I do, I can't do it. Okay, you can't see the buckets, available buckets. See here, when I click this, I should see the buckets. I'll do it from a main account. This is my IAM account which has no policy, right? See here, this is my main account. Now I'll go inside of, okay, I'll return to user list. Yeah, continue. Okay, I'll go into, okay, I'll open this in a new tab and search for S3. This is my main account which can view it. Okay, so this is my bucket. See here, when I click buckets, these are some of the folders I have created in the base term. I can go and create buckets and do things. This is main account, but this sub account, okay, he don't have access. So what this guy is, he is my developer and he needs access to it. So he is coming to me and he is asking me to give access to him. So what I can do is, I'll go into my main account. Okay, see here, I'll go into the developer one, and see here, there is no permission added to him. I'll click this add permission and add a permission here and go into attach policies directly, and I'll search for S3. Okay, and I have this S3 full access, or some limited access is available. My developer needs full access, so I'm going to give entire access to him. Click next and add permissions. That's it. When you add it, what happens is, now, okay, here I'll come back once again. Let us refresh it and try to use our S3 from my IAM account. I should be able to view my buckets. Can you guys see? Now I can see all the buckets, right? So this is how you can allow someone to use something in IAM AWS. You can create some IAM accounts like this for developer, for other users and all. So this is users. So if I want to remove it, I can remove that too. Click remove, he will be removed from that policy. So now he can't use it. When I refresh it, now the permissions will be denied. I'll need to refresh it once again. I don't know whether it's reflected here. Yeah, it has been removed. Okay, so now when I try to view the bucket, it has been removed, so I have kicked him out of it. Okay, I hope it will be clear. And see here, we have user groups also, where you can create a group of users, give a name. For example, let us create developers. This is for developers, and I can add, for example, add these two guys and add some permissions, like give him permission for EC2. Okay, so view that. you can read about it. If you click inside, you can read about the policies, and it is actually, you can see the versions and all, and then proceed with the next thing. I'll add these two guys, give a name developers, and add for example, let us add EC2 permission, EC2 full access, and create a group. And now when I add this, okay, permissions here, both my developer 1 and this main account, if I have other accounts, they will also get that permission which I have added from here. Okay, so that's how our user group, users and roles work. Talking about roles, if you go, policies work. Policies, if you go inside of it, there we have searched right here. Also you can search. For example, if you search EC2, you will be getting all the things. You can go inside of it and read about it. This is where it has been created. You can get a summary about what they can do. Okay, access level, what resources, and this is nothing but if you click JSON, it is written in JSON format so that AWS allows you to use it. So that's what about our policies. And only one thing we want to see, which is called as a role. Okay, so seeing about the roles, role in IAM are used to grant permissions to AWS resources and services, okay, rather than individual users or groups. So for example, previously we have some policies, right? So when I want to add some user, I can add it directly, but when we practice, for example, when we try to use EC2 or any of the resource in some complex task, one resource may require to use some other resources. For example, EC2 may require to use S3. Okay, like that, from one resource may require to use other resources, but they can't directly interact. Okay, for that they need to have this role. So we will be attaching some roles, and when we have that role, what this roles is nothing but when you go inside of that role, it will be a collection of policies. So you will be attaching policies to the roles, and it can be given to some of the services when you use it, so that they can be accessed from other services. Okay, it's for designed to assumed by trusted entities like AWS services. For example, go inside of roles, and if you create a role, okay, for whom you require it. For example, if I want to use it for EC2, okay, you can click next. And see here once again it is giving you what is the policies available, and if you choose that policy, it will be created as a role. Okay, so when you have it, you can select it. These are the policies which has been given for them. So when we actually see some service like EC2 from the next class, I'll tell you where this roles is given. At that time you guys want to remember about roles. Okay, roles will also have policies, but it is for given for some other services where we trust, which we trust. Okay, and that's it about IAM. Are we guys clear? And one thing, we have created some user group. Let me just delete it. See here, whatever thing I create, I'll also tell you guys how to delete it. So click them and delete it. You need to type the same name what it is telling you. Just follow it. Type developers permanently, and it is deleting the group, and it has been deleted. And talking about user, I don't want this developer 1 to exist. He has quitted my company, so let me just remove him by click delete. So it is asking me to type that particular name once again, confirm for confirmation. I can click delete, and that developer will be deleted, and he can't now access. Okay, he can't log in once again. When it updates, okay, it will be removed, and he can't actually use anything. It will be updated soon, so that he will be kicked out. He can't log in again. Okay, so we'll sign out and try to sign in again. Okay, I forgot the 12. Anyway, it won't be coming back. Okay, so that's it about IAM mostly. Other things about IAM, when we go through our session about other services, when we require, we will be requiring about access key and all. We'll see that at that time. So I hope it will be clear about the topic which we have seen. We are planned to see in the budgets and IAM. We have done it successfully, I think so. Are there any doubts? Okay. History can be available from CloudWatch and all, which we can take from our main account. When we see that service, I'll tell you. and talking about day 3 in next session. Before going into EC2, where we create Linux and Windows, okay, and use it, I'll be showing you hands-on. It will be an interesting session tomorrow and day after tomorrow. But before that, we need to have some basic knowledge about what is IP address, what is port, and what are the protocols like HTTP, SSH, HTTPS and all. We need to have some knowledge, right? So we'll see that introduction and then start with Amazon EC2, where we'll create server, which virtual server, where we'll be seeing about Linux, Windows and all. Hopefully by day 3 and day 4 we'll be covering it. So that's it. Thank you. And if you want to convert this masterclass into 1 month certified internship on Amazon Web Services, you can join as internship user, and yeah, you can get 21 day sessions, access to 90 days for it. As is, you can create your own policy, means you can use JSON format and type and configure your policies. Yeah, it's possible. Look furthermore into the documentation of AWS, or if time permits in future classes, I'll tell you, give something like that. Or mostly you can select, it's better from the given resources you can select, or you can modify also. If you go into that screen, it will tell you whether you want to create your own. Okay. And yeah, if you join as internship user, you will get the PPTs and additional support from our side. 6 Zoom sessions will be available. So if you join as internship user, in these Zoom sessions you can get support from our side, clarify your doubts, personal support, and yeah, you can get internship certification also. Use this coupon code of AWS MC2 and get it in a discounted fee of $899. The link is posted in the chat box, and I hope it's available on the description too. We'll see you in the tomorrow session. Thank you. We'll see tomorrow. I hope this session was interesting. Tomorrow's will be further more interesting. We'll see you in tomorrow's session. Thank you. Ibrahim, you are here also. Good to see you. And yeah, it's actually a cloud service, AWS, where you can do get all the IT resources by paying. And I suggest you to watch a previous session, day 1, so that you can get some introduction. It's an introductory session. Watch the day 1. Thank you guys.